rumor mills abound. We got Deshaun Watson has now been linked to wherever Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, recently fired by Miami. Rumors abound that both Watson and Flores are communicating with each other, trying to find a destination for both of them to end up. Flores as a head coach, Watson as the quarterback. Mize, what are your thoughts on this? This is kind of weird. We've never seen this before where a coach and quarterback are working together to end up someplace.
You know, I've seen receiver quarterback duo packages, maybe even, a center quarterback, defensive players, maybe like the McCourties like to go together, things like that. I've seen all kinds of stuff. I've never seen a coach quarterback combo. This reminds me of high school football teams, father-son quarterback coach duo, like traveling around to the highest bidder private schools, to get the next state championship. But this is the thing about this combo is there's a lot of uncertainty, especially on the quarterback side of the ball, still left up in the air. Nothing has been resolved. And Flores apparently had some issues in Miami. So, like you said, I've never heard or seen anything like this before. I think it's a pretty crazy trade bait out there for this.
Yeah, and I think the part that's so weird is that Flores he was this way in Miami, right? Because rumors were linking Watson to Miami when Flores was still there. It's like Watson is this perfectly shiny object for Flores where he feels all he needs to be a championship head coach is Deshaun Watson, even with the allegations, right? Watson is still, nothing's resolved. Like you said, he's still facing the same allegations, the same civil issues, the same criminal issues, and then whatever suspension the NFL is going to hand down. I mean, this is just really, really strange for Flores as he's trying to interview and trying to find a new landing spot for him. I mean, can you imagine going into a job interview as a head coaching candidate? You're talking to the owner of an NFL team. It's like, hey, my whole strategy is to get the guy to come in and be our starting quarterback who may be in jail next year. This is unheard of.
Yeah, it's like an investment firm. Like you go in for the job as CEO and be like, listen, I have this great investment guy. His name's Bernie Madoff. I know he's got a lot of past that may make you nervous, but trust me, he's a great guy. And also, we're forgetting the most important part. One of these people is a free agent. Brian Flores can go wherever he wants. The other person is still tied to a ginormous deal with the Houston Texans, and all reports have said Houston is not backing down from last offseason's demand of 5 assets for Watson, including 3 first-round picks at least, or equivalent thereof. So, 2 players or 2 draft picks, and then 3 first-round picks. Like, there's a lot of baggage to unpack with Watson, where Flores is relatively free to go wherever he wants. So this makes this even more interesting. Now, I would like to pivot from what we're talking about here into another part of this equation. Who do you think even sniffs this deal? Like, who takes a deal like this or tries to do anything with this?
Well, you mentioned Bernie Madoff, right? Wall Street investing. You got to look to New York City. You got to look to the New York Giants. They're one of the few teams in the NFL that have the draft capital to make a move on Watson. They have 2 picks in the top 7 of this upcoming draft. They've got the ability, right? They have Daniel Jones. They've got Saquon Barkley. Obviously, they have next year's draft, 2023 as well. They actually have enough bargaining power to go after Deshaun Watson. And I think they could. I think right now the New York Giants are the most likely destination. And in fact, on that topic, there's been reports out of New York, and I've got this is quoting Jordan Schultz, who's a journalist in the New York area. This is saying Deshaun Watson and Brian Flores have been in constant communication trying to navigate the scenario where they go to the same team. Watson trusts and likes Flores and has been adamant internally that he'd like to play for him next season. And Watson, this is Schultz also reporting, said Watson, I'm told, spends part of his offseason in New York City and has established businesses, connections, and friendships there as well. So Watson, I guess, is good to go to New York City. He's fine going to New York City. I think Watson's good to go wherever he can play. But outside of maybe the Eagles, the Giants are the only team that have the actual draft capital. And I think this could work for New York. I really think it could. If you're the Houston Texans and the Giants call and say, listen, we'll give you the number 5 overall pick, the number 7 overall pick, Daniel Jones, and a couple other picks or something, for Watson, a guy who isn't even playing, I mean, you take that, right?
Yeah, I definitely would take that. And also going on that, I have seen Flores linked to the Giants as well, but and the only other person I've really seen linked to the Giants possibly is their GM candidate has stated that he would like to get the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator. I think his name is Brian something.
Brian Dabble, I think. Yep.
Yeah. Is one of the other options. But Flores is much more proven than somebody like that. Flores did pretty good with Miami. And let's show how he went into a dying Miami team, turned it around, got some wins in that season where they traded everyone off, and the next 2 seasons came out with 2 winning seasons. So Flores is good. Deshaun, he's a good player. He's questionable morals, but he's a great player. But that smells just like New York. Questionable morals, a lot of talent, a lot of ability. We don't care how you get us there. We don't care what you do as long as you get us there. I think this is a match made in heaven. And if they can get the deal worked out for the right price, like you said, they have the capital to do something like this. I could see it working out.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This is something we've got to keep our eyes on this. I think this is developing. This is something that definitely could materialize this offseason. There's a lot of legs to this.